Okay, Mr. Logry here. Today we're going to talk about slope, okay? And getting slope from a graph. So slope is the measure of how steep a line is. All right? The higher the slope, the steeper the line is, and it is represented by the variable m, okay? Because slope always has to do with steepness, we measure the vertical change first. So vertical change right here means we're going up and down. Slope is a fraction. It's always a fraction. However much we change going up and down goes on top of the fraction, and however much we change going sideways goes on the bottom. That way, whenever you end up measuring it, if you think about trying to go up a hill, how you measure it, you would go up and then over. Say you had a hill like this and you're trying to figure out how steep this thing is. And when you're doing a line and you measure up and over, it stays the same. So if you find a slope from 2 points, it's going to be the same anywhere on the line. That'll make more sense in a minute, okay? We also say that it is the rise over the run. And we also, sometimes you will see a little triangle that says delta y over delta x. Delta is just a Greek letter that means change. Okay? But all we're measuring is how much our line moves up and down and then left and right. So let's take a look at a few, okay? So if we want to find the slope of the line, which is m, make sure you remember that. It's really important. We always use m. Delta y over delta x, rise over run. What that looks like on a graph. First off, you've got to be able to find your points, okay? So you're going to follow the line, start at the left side, right over here. And then you're going to follow your line all the way up until you find a point of intersection, okay? There's one right here. And then you keep following the line, there's one right here. You have to find where it crosses these little points right here where your line goes across it. You can use any two. There's going to be a bunch of them on the graph. As you keep going, this goes to infinity in both directions. You can use any two of these, okay? And then all you're going to do, once you find your line, you're going to count up and see how many you go up. In this case, we're going up 1. And then we're going right 2. So if you can do that, you can find the slope. All right? When you go up, your number is positive. So positive 1 and 2. Then we're just going to come over here to where our fraction is. And then we're going to put this 1 on the top and this 2 on the bottom. And there is the slope. Okay? One thing that helps, if you read your line, when you see the line on the graph, read it from left to right, like you're reading a book, okay? If that line is going up as you go right, then your slope is going to be positive. If it's going down, it's going to be negative, okay? We're going to look at some more examples real quick. So let's look at this one. Well, we can already tell if we look at which way it's going. If we go from left to right, it's going up, right? So we know it's going to be positive. The next thing we do, start right down here, follow it up, up, up until you see where it crosses. See right here, there's a little intersection right there. Then keep going. These are all in the middle, middle, middle. And then where's the next intersection point? Right here, where it crosses the 2 in the background. Then we started our left-hand side, this one right here. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4, right 1. So our slope is, the 4 goes on top. The number that you go up or down always goes on top. The number that goes left to right, which is 1, goes on bottom. And then you simplify your fraction. 4 over 1 is equal to 4. Okay? Anytime you have a 1 on the bottom, which will happen a lot with slopes, that 1 goes away. All right, let's look at this one now. We're going up. We can see over here, our line is going up from left to right, which means it's going to be positive, okay? So let's follow. Look right here. We've got 1 point here. Let's go, go, go. 1 right here. Once we have our 2 points, we need to count up or down first. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, up 3, and right 1, 2. This number goes on top. This one goes on bottom of the fraction. So 3 over 2. Our rise right here is the 3, and the run, which is sideways, is 2. And that does not simplify, so that's our answer. 3 over 2. If you use an N over D button on your calculator, if you have one, and you type in 3 over 2 and press enter, it will spit out 3 over 2. You can do that with all your fractions, and it will simplify it for you in a calculator also. Okay, let's look at this one. This one is going down from left to right, isn't it? So now we're dealing with the negative. So let's find our points. Start at the left side of the line. Going, going, going. Here's one, the little bullseye. Keep going, going. Oh, there's one on all of them, isn't there? All the way down. But we only need 2. We know we're going down because it's negative. So we're going to go down 1. When you go down, that's negative. Right 1. The rise goes on top. The run goes on bottom. And that will simplify to -1. Okay? So you're counting up or down and then to the right. Let's look at this one. All right. It's going down from left to right, which means it is negative. So we're going to find our points. Let's go down, down, down. Here's one. Oops. Here's one. Then we go down, 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 down. Here's another one right here. Then we count it out. Down 1, 2, 3, -3. Right 1. The -3 goes on top. The 1 goes on bottom of our fraction, and that will simplify to -3. And that's your slope. That's all there is to it. Okay, why don't you pause the video real quick? See if you can figure this one out. This one's a little trickier. We'll see if you can get it. Okay, let's look at it. We can tell our line is going down from left to right, so we know it's going to be negative. And we know we're going to count down once we find our points. So let's find our points. 1 right here. Keep going. 1 right here. We're going to go down 1 to get there, which is -1. Right 1, 2, 3, 4. Right 4. Our rise goes on top, -1. Our run goes on bottom, so we get -1 over 4 for the slope. Okay, and that's how steep the line is. It's -1, 4. Every time we go down 1, we go right 4. Okay? Would you pause? Actually, let me just show you how to do this one. There are 2 special cases. We'll see what to do on this one right here, okay? First off, what is this? What is a flat line? It's not going up or down. So let's look and see. We're going to make 2 points, and this touches points at every single one of them. But wait, when we try to count up or down, we can't go anywhere, so it's just a 0 on top. And then when we go right 1, which goes on bottom. So our slope, anytime you have a horizontal line, like this right here, a horizontal line, your slope is 0, okay? You can count it out, or you can just memorize that. Anytime you have a flat line that goes horizontal across the graph, parallel to the x-axis or on the x-axis, your slope is 0. Okay? Now let's look at this one, another special case. And before you say anything, the slope is not 0 on this one. Let me explain, okay? We're not going up or down from left to right. And whenever we can go up and down. So you've got points here. You go up 1. So now you have a 1 on top, but you're not going anywhere to the left or right. So you end up with a 0 on bottom. In math, you cannot do this. The math breaks down. You can't take nothing and divide it into something. So what happens here is the slope is undefined. So anytime you have a vertical line anywhere on here, anywhere, it's got to go straight up and down. Your slope will be undefined. All right, pause your video. Let's look at an example. See if you can do this one real quick with the points already on there, and then we'll work it in a second. Okay. We can see this line is going down from left to right, so it's going to be negative, which means we're going to count down first. So we started our first point, and let's go down to get to the next point. So go down 1, 2, 3, 4. -4, right 1. The rise, up or down, it goes on top. -4 over the 1 goes on bottom, and that will simplify to -4. So the slope of this function, this line on the graph, is -4.